Another form of childhood subliminal mind games that are played is, I talked about the sexual type abuse type stuff on the last video before this one right here that you listen to right now. Now I'm going to elaborate on some tactics of the physical abuse that's done towards children in order to have that mind control to them in a negative way for their gain. But in the end, it's always going to have the child suffer into their adulthood. I learned that. And when I learned that, that's when I started learning how to forgive everything I've been through. Like, truly forgive, not just say it and try to make myself feel something I don't. I mean, truly forgive everything that I've been through. Because I used to think that people I would hear sometimes talk about certain stuff and throughout my life or whatever, whether it's entertainment or in my personal life, whatever. I used to really think that some people just do shit on purpose just because, and yeah, they can help it. They know what the hell they doing, blah, blah, blah. But sometimes, they know what they're doing, but subliminally, that's how their mind is really wired to do towards certain people. And it kind of fucks them up mentally into their adulthood, which is so fucked up, messed up. And I'm not trying to cuss too much in my videos, but trying to get to a certain point, you know. What I wanted to talk about on this video is some of the physical abuse tactics that are used in childhood to manipulate, you know, children to be in a low vibration and be depressed, you know, be in a depressed mindset and stuff like that. There are some families that have a certain person in the family, not always the mother or father, okay? Sometimes it's not the mother and father. Sometimes it's a other older figure in the family. Sometimes it's an aunt, uncle, great aunts, great uncle. Sometimes it's the grandparents, you know what I'm saying? It's not always the mother and father, you know. Sometimes it's the foster parents, the grandparents, you know, or the parents of the foster parents, anything like that. It's not always the mother or father. Let me state that. But anyway, wherever the children or child is raised in, sometimes there's physical abuse that's used. They'll control the children or child as not just whipping them when they do bad, as a form of, hey, don't do that when you're a toddler or when you're 6 years old, like tap on the hand or spank on the butt a little bit. No, I'm talking about full force, full-fledged abuse. That's what I'm talking about, okay? I'm not talking about people that whip their children, you know, with the belt a little bit and just let it go, whatever. No, I mean full-fledged abuse is what I'm talking about, okay? It's a big difference. Now, sometimes children can be beaten and be talked down to so that they feel bad about themselves to the point that they're just very depressed and they're bullied not to talk to teachers or school counselors or whatever about how they feel, because the people in charge of the children, if it's not the mother or father, don't want to get in trouble and they bully them and scare them not to tell anyone, stuff like that. But I'm talking about full-fledged abuse, like beatings and talking down to them like they're nothing, and abuse them physically, horrifically, when they have not did anything wrong. You know, I'm talking about just sometimes it's for no apparent reason. I mean, I understand people have to discipline, but sometimes adults take discipline too fucking far, and it's so unnecessary to the point that the only reason why that's going on is because they want to intentionally depress the children's minds to the point that they think low or ill about themselves internally. And that's a way of manipulation so that can start breaking them down way before they're teenagers sometimes, which is sad, but that is a tactic that some adults use with children. One day I'll tell my whole story, but I'm just saying that I'm going by what I've learned. I'm going by what I've witnessed sometimes in my childhood as well. But personally, my parents did not physically abuse me or talk down on me or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Except for one grandparent for 2 years in my childhood, whatever. But there's some children that have had it worse than me in their childhood, to the point that they're being beaten for no reason for hours and tell them really degrading things and to the point that they just feel bad about themselves and to the point that they're almost suicidal. But you know, that's just sad. But that is a mind manipulation tactic that is used to some children from caregivers.